In this video we talk about how you can run a successful taster session for university-aged prospective Ultimate Frisbee players. The aim is for the players to enjoy the session and wish to return to the club. New players will have the opportunity to play lots of Ultimate and meet new people, and returning players will have opportunities for leadership and to use teaching skills. This video is based upon an article which is linked in the description. The article has a ton more useful info if you want to be fully prepared for running a taster session. The session begins half an hour early for the returning players, who are briefed on what's expected of them during the taster session. As new players arrive, they go and throw around in 2s or 3s with returning players, never more than 4 to a group, and the returning players should be distributed as evenly as possible. During the throwing, the experienced player chats and asks the new player if they want any tips on throwing. If they respond in the positive, then they give them some tips following this priority list. Remember not to overload new players with too much information, keep it very simple, let them enjoy throwing around for a while. Next, everybody gathers and are divided into teams of 4 to 6 players to play 4 vs 4 or 5v5 Ultimate. No larger than that, or the quieter players won't get enough disc time. In their teams, the experienced players do introductions, they explain the rules of the game and spirit of the game, like how to make a call and what will happen after you make a call, and then without chatting too much more, the team get ready to play a game and get on the line. Getting the games going quickly is important, or everyone will just stand around chatting forever. During the games, the returning players should play in a way that helps the game flow smoothly and be enjoyable for every single new player. Guidelines for how to play like this are in full in the article, but they include putting out leading deep shots for beginners to chase down. Doesn't matter if it's the defender gets it, they have a great time. The offensive player has a great time chasing the disc down. Having beginners pick up the disc on turnovers, resisting the urge to poach on defense, and also resisting the urge to mark the other experienced player out of the game. When you encounter a confident and athletic beginner, it can be good to give them a challenge and make it hard for them to get free or hard for them to defend you. Some players will relish this challenge. Strategy talk is discouraged at the start of the games, with a learn-by-doing approach. Just explain the rules and then play. Definitely no stacking, although it can be tempting to try and put some order in the chaos. That's not the way to do it. Just encourage your team to spread out and move the disc quickly on offense. And on defense, get your matchups and stay aware and communicate. You can try out a loosely defined zone if your team is into it. This game should last around 15 to 20 minutes, then take a water break, and the teams switch around and play different opponents. If you have a small group, then switch some players and do the intros again after a couple of games. If your team's up for it and you want to expand on the offense and the defense strategically, then as well as spreading out, you can talk about making triangles, and as well as moving the disc quickly, you can talk about give-go moves. Tactically, you can introduce someone being on fire on offense, where they receive every other pass and bounce the disc around. You can also call a string, where each player specifically looks to catch from the player before them in the string and throw to the player after them. These things help give a team a certain amount of focus on offense. On defense, as well as a loosely defined zone, you can introduce the idea of a one-way force and prioritizing guarding on one side of the downfield players. But don't over-focus on this or spend too long talking about it, as you don't want to give the beginners too much to think about. At the end of the session, it can be good to have a big game which is loaded with experienced players to begin with. The beginners being encouraged to watch the first couple of points, hopefully there'll be some good plays, layouts and skies and stuff, and then encourage the beginners to join after a couple of points if they want to. Strict mixed gender rules at the start to encourage everyone's involvement are good, and then you can adjust it later on depending on the ratio of the players you have. It depends on the club, but at the end of our taster session at Sussex Uni, we let the players know that all levels are welcome to our trainings, whether you want to meet new people, get fit, or become the best player of Ultimate Frisbee in the country, we can cater for you with socials, trainings, and coaching. We've been running our taster session like this each year at Sussex and had plenty of success with the recruitment, retention, development and performance of our teams and players for many years. Sometimes we take 2 teams to nationals, including one year where we came both first and second at regionals. We always perform really well in the beginners tournaments each year, so I'm very confident in this taster session and the plans we have for the first few trainings. If you'd like to learn more about what to do at the first few trainings after the taster, then tried and tested training plans are linked in the description. These are available to patrons on our training tier on Patreon. By pledging the $8 a month, you'll get access to all of the Hive training content, as well as a free Hive Ultimate disc, so you won't have to worry anymore about what to teach next, or what to throw back and forth. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out the article for the full details, and Patreon for the training plans, and I'll see you again soon.